Shadow and Bone, Episode 4. Mal is writing to Alina, and his team has been sent to Shernast because the Fjordans keep attacking at night. Mal is with his other teammates, receiving letters, and he is expectant, but unfortunately, there is none for him. There is word from the commander. Kerrigan needs volunteers to find an ancient mystical creature, the same Alina saw in her dream, to earn a visit to the palace. The men jest about it, but Mal volunteers to do it. Alina is in her chamber, and she is greeted by her mistress, Genya, who prepares her to go horse riding with Kerrigan. She meets him, they exchange a few words, and he tells her to call him Alexander, and they leave. Kaz, Inij, Jesper, and the conductor arrive at East Ravka from Ketterdam. Kaz wants to get to the little palace. They have to steal the blueprints of the palace to find their way in and get Alina. Kaz tells the conductor to get them a ride to the little palace. Alina and Alexander stop at a water fountain and talk about life at the little palace. He tells her a story of him as a young boy running away from the little palace because he is a descendant of the most hated Grisha, the Black Heretic. There are historical drawings on the fountain, and Alina tries to decipher its story. There was a king, Anastas, who hired a Grisha as his special advisor, the Black Heretic. The heretic became more power-driven, so the king put a bounty of Grisha on him. He attempted to create an army for himself using the science Morozova used to create his amplifiers. It failed, and the failure created the fold instead. This killed him and many other Grisha. Kerrigan, Alexander, says Grisha always blames him for the problems his forebearer caused. Alina says that Kerrigan sees her as the solution and thinks that if she fails to destroy the fold, she'll become the new heretic, but he promises not to let that happen, that he'll be with her and they will change the world together. She tosses a coin into the fountain and returns to the palace. Back in the camp, Mal is getting ready to find the mystical creature that looks like a reindeer. Mal's friends, Michael and Dubrov, join him in preparing. They are going with him. Alina is training with Bagra, the lady she met previously, and she pushes her to use her power. Alina is making progress but is not impressed. She tells Alina to return for training when she is better. Alina is dining with Nadia and Marie. They talk about their training experiences with Bagra. Alina assures herself that when Mal arrives at the palace, she'll get better because he knows the right things to do or say to her to help her get through training successfully. Kaz arrives at Kirbisk, where they will steal the blueprints of the little palace. He assigns the men to their jobs during the operation. Kaz disguises himself as a sculptor to the attendant in need of the dimensions to the entrances of the little place to find a way in for the supposed statue of the king which is to be presented at a royal event, the Winter Fete. The attendant leaves to get it. Jesper turns off the lights, and Inij sneaks in to get the blueprint. They cannot steal the blueprints, so they copy them on another paper and leave. A guard notices the lights turned off, locks the doors so Inij can't escape, and they sneak out eventually. In the palace, Kerrigan summons Fedir, the army leader that blamed Alina earlier. He asks if he knows about Nina. Kerrigan wants him to find Nina because he senses she is in trouble. Mal, Dubrov, and Michael continue their hunt for the creature called the stag. Meanwhile, on the Fjordan ship, one of the soldiers brings her food. Nina suspects his good manners are because he needs her for something. He asks her questions about Grisha, but she replies that she'd rather die than betray her people, and he leaves. In the bar where the men are, the conductor makes a friend Marco and introduces him as one of the people to perform at the Winter Fete. Marco and his group can't perform because they lost their star performer to an accident, and the group needs a replacement. Inij volunteers to be the replacement. In the palace, Alina is training with Bagra but is not having it. She wants Bagra to be more encouraging. Bagra says she can't be her mother. Alina stands up in frustration but is drifted to her days at the orphanage with Mal. It was the day to be tested. She accidentally broke a mug in a bid to pack the pieces, and Mal is injured. The Grisha testers take them. They can't test Mal because he is in pain. She cuts herself with the pieces of glass she picked from the floor, and because she is already in pain, the Grisha testers can't tell if she is Grisha. She admits to Bagra that she didn't want to be separated from Mal. Bagra sees no reason why she should do that and forces her to continue practicing with the light. Alina can't sleep. She walks about the palace and sees Kerrigan. he tells her that the Fjordans are threatened by her existence and that the First Army General is turning the people against them. Alina touches him as he laments, and the touch summons a light. She leaves. The following day, Alina is expecting a letter still from Mal, but she doesn't get one. Out of frustration, she is gingered to master the use of her power and shows Bagra her progress. Bagra is impressed. A storm is affecting the Fjordan ship, and the captain tells one of the men that if the storm worsens, he should kill the captives and throw their corpses into the sea to reduce the ship's weight. Meanwhile, the search for the mystical creature continues. Dobrov fears that the search has brought them into Fjordan territory, but they keep going. Late at night, they are attacked by Fjordans. The men fight for their lives, but they are shot terribly. Mal passes out to the memory of him, and Alina talking about the matching scars on their hands on the day of the Grisha test and wakes up almost immediately. The Fjordans make sure that they are all dead, so they proceed to stab the men. Michael and Dobrov are dead. As he mourns them, he sees the mystical creature. Alina summons Genya, her mistress, who can heal and erase scars. Alina is convinced she will never hear from Mal again and proceeds to erase the scar on her palm.